Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, there is this story making the rounds about some boys in a school behaving in a particular way. Of course, the Lagos State Lagos Police Command said that the incident, occurred much earlier in April, and that they launched an investigation into the whole stuff. And they said that the principal of the school, who also serves as the proprietor, was invited for questioning and said the students seen in that viral video had already graduated. Wow. And left the institution. But we understand that they are cooperating fully with investigators from the state's criminal investigation department to uncover the full circumstances surrounding the incident. I don't know whether to say it is good that they have left this school, or it's worse.
Who knows whether they have passed on the trend?
Exactly, my fear. Exactly, because if they have left secondary school and they are in uni now, what are we having?
And nothing was done about it before they graduated. Exactly. We only saw what happened after they left.
Yeah, and if this
I'm sure people are wondering what we're talking about.
If this also goes into the workspace, what kind of legislators are we going to be having? What kind of policemen are we going to be having? Soldiers are we going to be having? Well, it's about that video making the rounds about some boys in Ikorodu, in a school in Ikorodu, taking drugs, smoking this, yeah, and all of that. That's what we're talking about this morning. But so let's look at the issue. In the event that it is happening in a school you are aware of, but you don't want to tell us, don't just look straight. This morning we have with us to discuss this issue a certified family systems engineer by the name Mr. Deji Shoumi joins us here in the studio. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. It's good to be here.
When you interrogated the issue, your thoughts are around the line of whether or not the problem is the failure of the family system or a problem of peer pressure. Which one does it tend to more for you?
Okay, why I looked at it from that perspective to look at the issues closest to it, I think it's a myriad of issues. It's not just those two. It's a system. It's a breakdown of a system. That's what it feels like to me. It's not isolated. First of all, I feel bad for the school and the ownership of the school, because if you look at it deeply, it feels like they are being scapegoated, because the 11th commandment is thou shalt not get caught. Now, if everybody's going to point fingers at them, you are not being fair, because it's probably going on in your school, your child's school, that school in your community, and everywhere else. Because you look at it, that is it the family? Is it the parents? Because the parents have to chase money, meaning that they're not available physically. And if they're not available physically, they can't really be available emotionally.
Are these not boarding students?
Yeah. So you say that the responsibility has gone to the boarding school or the school management to take care of them at that point in time. But those children still came from a family. So the values you have from where you've come from is going to stay with you. Now, let's look at the point of peer pressure. Peer pressure is a thing, acceptance and all of that. And all social media has done is to amplify the negatives in our society, making it look cool to deal in particular things. But when we look at it from the underneath, from the underbelly, then what we will find out is that it is not about the drug abuse or the alcohol abuse, or that they had the temerity to go and video that and even release that video online. It's the fact that they were just trying to cope with something. What are they coping with? Is it the hopelessness that we face because of the lack of employment or the lack of a tomorrow? so to speak? Is it the problem that we are going through whereby nobody's attending to us socially or emotionally? Our emotional anxieties, our social anxiety is not being fed by any parent, any guidance, any mentor or any role model, really, because they are alone at the end of the day. Everybody requires that bond. As a community, as a whole, are we broken?
Yeah.
And that's where I think it is. Because if you think that there are not some parents who are also coping with their own life problems through drugs and alcohol, you might be mistaken.
Right, but okay, I'm so sorry.
Please go
but
ahead.
there's also this, this is just one of the instances that we have seen. We've seen cases where students have been sexually abused. We've seen cases where bullying has led to, well, allegedly led to death of some students. There seems to be this trepidation about, children going to boarding school. Now, even where you have girls only on mixed schools, there's this trepidation too that they may end up, quote unquote, boys liking each other and girls liking each other. I really don't want to say too much. Right. So this is just one of the issues. There's the trepidation saying my child is not going to boarding school because I don't know what the child will face. We may teach our children to be good, come from a good home, but peer pressure, you never know what they will get up to when they get to school.
I believe what you just said, and it is true to a large extent. It's just that there are other things. First of all, is it every parent that put their child in the boarding school that A, it was because they wanted the child to learn independence and being able to solve their own problems by their own, or B, they did not have time to take care of their child. So they thought the safest place to put that child was in there. Children have come from different kind of homes to come in there, and it is also a truth to say most of those children, their parents were not hands-on. So these are children who have come from a driver, the gate man, the housemaid, some uncles, a few friends, being their own role models, who have also relied on drugs and alcohol in that point. So they come there, and that's what it is. In any group, there will always be the popular kids. The strong will always survive and pull through. But also, what is the easiest thing to bring out decadence, to push your inner desires to the fore? It's usually drugs and alcohol. So there will be rape.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of sexual decadence. There will be cultism. Because that's what this is. It's not called dope for fun. Dope means cold in some places. It means thick gravy sauce in Dutch. But etymology, like I've learned it, etymology of dope is thick. Thick meaning stupid or senseless. But these children are not looking at that. They're not thinking that there has to be some personal responsibility for that. It's like the Rotary test. Is it fair?
Is it?
Is it true? Does it benefit all that around? Does it benefit my country? It is simple. But we lost one special trait that I feel, starting from there, using that as a starting point, we can get back to the glory that covered us before as a community.
Okay, you know,
Nigerians.
It's interesting that we're looking at this, this way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, some people will agree with you when you say dope means stupid, because you release a program, wow, that song is dope. Whether it's another thing, that's another conversation. But, talking about parents putting children in boarding school, what age do you recommend that a child is old enough to go to a boarding school, a properly set up, properly supervised boarding school?
Do you think there's such a thing as a properly supervised boarding school?
Well,
can it be in existence? Is it
I
possible?
went to a boarding school, and I went at age 11. Here I am today.
At a different time.
at a different time. That's why I'm asking.
At a different time.
So
what I'm saying is that
because my apologies, I also understand that there's a school in Ogun State that the parents have a fellowship of sorts, right? That supervises stuff themselves. The parents association or whatever they call them are kind of hands-on with the school management to ensure that proper infrastructure is put in place and all of that. It may not be perfect, but at least it is.
But that system will work. But today, one of the main problems we have is that there's no accountability on the part of parents like there used to be. They just want to dump it on you. Most of the time, I've seen a few schools, apart from my children's schools, and I've seen parents come to complain about their children to the school. And I smiled to myself that, oh, no, sir, no, ma'am. The school should be complaining to you about your child. Either the one that was in a boarding school or the one that is a day student, because it's your own fundamental job. So a case whereby the stakeholders like the school or like the parents come together to make sure that their hostel facilities are spot on, it's fine. There's CCTV, there is mentors within the school, they are checking on each other, they are putting the values through. It's the same values at home, in the religious institution, and in school, yes, in that kind of a system. But you look at these things, we are looking at the supply end, at the demand end of drugs, which is people want drugs, people are using drugs. What about the supply end? It's also economic for some. Oh, there is no man or so that came to sell to those students. Somebody sold to somebody, and one of the middlemen was just a student like that brought it to the rest of them. And that particular student, you might be surprised, might not be using it, just selling it as an economic means.
So but where's the balance? I know you said that there's a responsibility
for everybody
from the home, but the home sees to it that a child is taken care of economically, emotionally at time, emotionally, and all that. Yeah. And then we started off by saying that our previous conversation says that children spend like how many hours in school per day. When you have education as well, there's also a balance. You teach subjects, and then there's also a place where you teach morals as well, values, as part of education.
Yes.
So while there's a lot of burden on the family to ensure that they get their kids' heads screwed on right, and so that they'll be better prepared for a world, there's also that burden on schools as well to ensure that these students graduated from our school, their moral standards are good and high. We're proud to say these were my students.
Have been released into the world.
That have been released into the world. So where's that burden? Because the burden is where. How do we share the burden? Let me put it that way.
All right. I think we probably made an error. First of all, there is no right or wrong way to parenting. Yeah. It's different for everybody, and it's probably particular to the child. And in family systems engineering, we will tell you that what you need to do has to do with who you are doing it with. You have to look at that child and adapt basically to that child. But we seem to have made a mistake a few years ago. Now, we had our way of parenting. Then globalization and westernization came, and we went from the communal family system into the nuclear family system. Make no mistake about it, the nuclear family system is wonderful, but everything seems to have its upside and its downside. While it made families more stable, they could provide more for a limited number of children, what it did was that it removed support. If you take a whole broom, breaking that broom is difficult. You can't break a bunch of broom, but you can take a stick out of it and easily break it. The family became more and more nuclear with time.
Right. Are we also, changing, as parents, changing with the times? Because sometimes, out of the office, I hear people say that, hey, my son said this to me. They bore me well when I was growing up. to make this kind of statement and say to my father, my mother, that thing. Or you hear, you know, in the US or Europe, you say African American parents, you dare, no. You know, because you know it's other than maybe the Caucasian parents, that you dare not say this in front of African American parents, which means that either Nigeria or UK, or once it's a black person, even if you're not a Nigerian, once maybe you're an American or you're a UK British citizen, and you're not of Nigerian born or African, but you're of African descent, there's a value on what you cannot say to your parents other than on the other end. So. But I think we're changing with the times. We're allowing a lot of things. So I don't know, where can we strike that balance to?
We have become hypocritical. We've continued to stand in front of everybody and say we are Africans, we have values, we do this, we do that. But it's been in speech alone. It hasn't been in deed. Your child has seen you lie on the phone so many times. Your child sees you drink. Your child sees you smoke. Your child sees you celebrate corruption on social media. Your child sees you do a myriad of things. Then you now come back to that child and preach or lecture that child. That child is going to do what you are doing, not what you are saying, because by going through that way or that process, you are confusing the child. That's what you're doing. Now, we used to support each other. If we were neighbors, for example, staying on the same street, you could go to work and your children would hang with mine or with me if I wasn't going to work that particular day. Or we saw them. There was once upon a time that I was coming back from school. I was at the gate of my house. So I took out my shirt and I'm relaxed. I'm about to go in. My principal passed at that same time. I knocked down in school for a whole week. For the first period, everybody saw me. I was a social prefect at the time. I knelt down. I was made an example for others not to go through that. And they made sure that they enforced those things that were taught. They weren't being wicked by telling me to kneel down in front of the principal's office for a week. But all they are saying is that we are expecting a lot from you. And that has to stay within you. We don't do that any longer.
Even if we even try today.
We wouldn't.
The social person's child?
Try and scold another person's child. Try it. They will slap you by the end of it. I've seen teachers slapped in school because their children were disciplined. I've seen it done. We lost that particular value. See, when two cultures meet, what they should do is examine each other. Look for solutions to each person's problems in the other one. It doesn't mean that you should do away with your own culture. We could take the best out of the Western culture and still instill our own culture. The all-for-one vibe we are looking for now, we should be each other's neighbors, we should care for ourselves. We lost it when we embraced the Western culture.
Let me ask you
together again.
A difficult question.
Yes, sir.
Serious. In Africa, we are big on discipline.
Yes.
Particularly for children, our children, because you want your children to be known as a disciplined child.
Yes.
And a good number of people complain today when they go to certain environments or circles and they see other people's children just running all over the place, almost like without any discipline. And there are those who are advocating what they call gentle parenting. No beating, no scolding. If a child is having a meltdown, you will melt down with the child, sit down, and all those things. There are those who would point to you, dear family engineer, that family systems engineer. At this gentle parenting something.
It's not working.
Okay.
It's not working.
It's not working.
Yeah. But you know,
no. I'm finishing your sentence. I'm not making a statement.
Before you comment on that,
yes,
hey, look at me. My dad never beat us. Now, I lost my mom when I was 10. My dad never beat us.
Yes, please.
He didn't scold like, you know, maybe once in a while. But the fear of him was like the fear of the Lord.
Okay.
Do you understand? He didn't beat, but you know that you do not dare. I don't know how he did it though.
So yeah,
He was authoritative.
Yeah, it was.
Not authoritarian.
Okay.
It sounds alike, the word sounds alike, it's the same root,
Yeah.
but it's different. Have you ever wondered why your children respect your school, their teacher so much, but not you?
Too much. You say, I'll tell Miss Richard for you. Let me know.
I wondered
I'm doing it.
for so long. Then along the way, I became a family system engineer.
And then
I now explored it. And I saw it. It was very simple. The teacher was trained to be empathetic, to be compassionate, but to be structured and firm, which means that they were warm, they were kind, but they were professional as well. So the consequences were already spelled out for the students before the sins even happened.
Yeah.
You saw the list of what will happen to you if you did blah, 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 or a variant of blah. So you knew that when that happens, either in that corner, or right over there, or behind this beautiful screen, the consequences were going to be the same. You have a choice to make. I should go ahead or I shouldn't. But I come back from work today, and it was very tough. I got a query. My car was in an accident. Somebody insulted me. Somebody spat in my face. So when I was sitting down and trying to focus, and my son started shouting and jumping, then I looked at him with that stare that I will kill you if you don't take your time. To which the boy is like, there's something wrong.
The shies away.
Then tomorrow, the same thing kind of occurs. Then I go over there and berate him and shout at him. Then today at work, it was a good day.
Yeah.
I got a promotion, the query was removed, I got some extra, and I got a paid vacation for the family. When he was jumping and shouting, I jumped and shouted with him.
Okay.
So the boy is confused.
Well,
how do we do this?
This is part one of this particular subject matter.
Okay.
Because we are coming back to it.
Okay.
This whole gentle parenting thing, we need to discuss it so that people can understand what we're talking about. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for your time.
Mr. Deji Shomi is a certified family systems engineer and president network of family systems engineering professionals. We'll find out more about that some other time.
Some other time. Thank you so much.
Okay. So dear gentle parents also.
Gentle parenters.
Thank you so much for the privilege of being a part of your Saturday morning. I'm Ayo Makinde. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
I'm Joke Rogers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
By the way, it's still World Cleanup Day today. So
go and clean your environment, everyone.